A few days after the Porsche incident, HOA Karen escalated again, this time attempting to seize my private road for her son's ATV. I had noticed tire tracks the previous night cutting across my fields, an unmistakable sign that she believed she could treat my property like a public thoroughfare. I calmly reviewed the camera footage, noting every detail, the timing, the number of people involved, even her son's route through my pastures. By mid-morning, Karen arrived in her usual black SUV, her son perched atop the ATV like it was a throne. "We just need to get through," she shouted, waving her arms as though entitlement could magically override property law. The boy revved the engine, excitement plastered on his face, completely unaware of the meticulous traps I had set to deter trespassers. I stepped onto the porch, taking a sip of coffee, and called out, "Funny, this road belongs to me, and I've made sure anyone trying to cross it gets a very memorable welcome." Karen's eyes narrowed, but she didn't understand that I had transformed her perceived advantage into a trap. Overnight, I had dug shallow trenches along the route and placed harmless but terrifying-looking crocodile decoys designed to startle intruders. Motion sensors activated lights and alarms, creating the illusion of a highly dangerous environment. As the ATV approached the first trench, the boy panicked. The decoys snapped into view, lights flashed, and alarms blared. Tires skidded, dust flew, and the young intruder froze in terror. Karen screamed, waving her arms helplessly, while I remained calm, walking toward the scene to assert my authority. By noon, the board members she had summoned arrived, hoping to rescue her son from the situation. They froze at the edge of my property, staring at the chaos. I calmly explained that the road, the field, and every obstacle were fully on my land, and any further attempt to bypass them constituted trespassing. Their faces went pale, realizing they had underestimated not only my property rights but my preparation. Karen, desperate, tried to negotiate, insisting her son had a right to use the road. I shook my head. "This road is private. You've trespassed repeatedly, and now you're caught in your own arrogance. I can allow access for a very significant fee. Otherwise, the road remains mine." By mid-afternoon, Karen had retreated, flustered and humiliated. Her son, still shaken from the ATV debacle, looked bewildered as he realized that he had been completely outmaneuvered. The board members shuffled away, clearly recognizing the limits of HOA authority when it came into conflict with legal ownership and careful preparation. Neighbors peered over fences, whispering among themselves about the spectacle. Cameras recorded everything. The wheel skid, the boy's terrified expression, Karen's panic gestures, and my calm, methodical enforcement of property rights. It was a perfect example of how foresight, planning, and legal authority could turn an aggressor's confidence into total defeat. By evening, I walked the road, inspecting my traps and motion sensors, ensuring they were ready for any future attempts. The property was secure, the road remained private, and the lesson was clear. Entitlement and threats could not overcome preparation, legal authority, and a keen understanding of one's own land. HOA Karen had once again learned the hard way that trying to force her will on my property was not only futile, it was humiliating. As the sun set behind the distant hills, I leaned against my truck, watching the calm descend over the ranch. The road, the fields, and my authority were all untouchable. And in the background, the faint echoes of panic and defeat from HOA Karen served as a reminder. On my land, I controlled the rules, the access, and the consequences.